Hey everyone. Today, I want to talk about something that doesn't always get enough love: second playthroughs in video games. If you've ever wondered why it's worth diving back into a game you've already finished, stick around. There's so much to unpack. So let's start with the story. The first time you play, you're just getting the hang of things, right? Learning the controls, figuring out the world, following the main plot. But when you go back for a second run, you know the basics. This time you can really dive into the story. You start noticing little details you missed before, understanding characters on a deeper level. It's like watching a movie for the second time and catching all those Easter eggs you missed the first time around. Now let's talk gameplay. The first time through, you're playing it safe, sticking to what works. But on a second playthrough, you're more confident. You know the mechanics, the enemies, the layout. This time, you can experiment. Try new strategies, use different weapons or abilities, tackle challenges you avoided before. It's a chance to master the game in a way you couldn't on your first run. Another big reason second playthroughs matter is value. You've already spent money and time on a game, so why not get the most out of it? Playing through it again means you're squeezing every bit of enjoyment out of your purchase. It's like getting 2 games for the price of 1. Plus, it can be so much fun to revisit a game you love. It's like meeting up with an old friend and having a great time together. And let's not forget new content. Some games reward second playthroughs with extra features or content. Maybe there's a new Game Plus mode with tougher enemies and better rewards, or hidden levels and side quests that only unlock on a second run. This new content can add hours of gameplay and give you new challenges to conquer. There's also the community aspect. Playing a game for the second time can connect you with other fans in a different way. You can share your experiences, compare your choices, and discuss the story in more depth. Maybe you'll even discover fan theories or hidden secrets you missed the first time. It's a way to deepen your connection to the game and the people who love it. And you know what's really cool? Sometimes a second playthrough can change your whole perspective on a game. Maybe a character you didn't like at first becomes your favorite, or a plot twist you thought was weird makes perfect sense now. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion. There's always something new underneath. Let's also talk about personal growth. Your skills improve with each playthrough. The game that felt challenging the first time might feel easier now because you've gotten better. It's satisfying to see your own progress reflected in how you play. You start to notice patterns, predict enemy movements, and make smarter choices. It's like leveling up in real life. And hey, sometimes developers sneak in little surprises for players who go through the game again. Secret dialogues, hidden rooms, bonus items. It's their way of saying thanks for sticking around. It's always a nice feeling to stumble upon these little gifts. Playing a game again can feel like visiting an old friend. You already know the characters, the world, and the story, but there's always more to explore. It's comforting and exciting at the same time. You get to relive those moments that made you laugh, cry, or sit on the edge of your seat. One more thing. A second playthrough can be a great way to appreciate the artistry of a game. The music, the graphics, the level design, all those elements come together in ways you might not have fully appreciated the first time. When you're not worried about what's coming next, you can take the time to really soak it all in. And now, let's talk about endings. A lot of games let you make decisions that change the story. On your first run, you make choices based on what feels right. But what about those other options? A second playthrough lets you see what could have happened if you'd chosen differently. Maybe you'll save a character who died the first time, or unlock a completely different ending. It's like a what-if scenario that keeps things fresh and exciting. Plus, seeing the full scope of a story can give you a greater appreciation for the game's writing and design. Alright, that's a wrap. Thanks for hanging out and talking about why second playthroughs matter. Next time you finish a game, don't just put it back on the shelf. Dive back in and see what new adventures await. Happy gaming!